some interview questions, some common interview questions, and apart from that, we would have a resume preparation session. So we would tell you that, okay, for a BA, these are the important things that should reflect on your resume, and also from your existing resume, what could be used when you submit your profile for a BA role, as in a BA job opportunity, whatever is required. Apart from that, we would have some revision and class performance analysis, and we would also be having some tests. I mean, we could have a midterm test and a final test. So if any of you have any questions so far on the syllabus, do let me know. Okay, so then I'll move on to the next slide, which we'll talk about. Now basically, this is just what the topics that are going to be covered in a BA training. And you don't need to take down any notes for today because we would be sharing a lot of notes with you. You would be given a lot of material to read, to understand, and apart from that, you would also be given hands-on experience on the tool in the next few classes. But I just hope all of you cooperate, and if any of you have been given some assignment, please make sure that you complete it on time. It's for your own good because we want to make sure that we give you hands-on training, and at the end of the training, you are good enough to at least go for a role of a junior BA. That's a junior business analyst in an organization. Now, coming to SDLC. Now, basically, SDLC, as we said, is the software development lifecycle. So now, a general lifecycle model will typically look like this. It would start off with requirements, because gathering requirements. So if you see yourself as a BA, you would play a very important role in the first stage, which is gathering the requirements. I hope I'm making sense. If any of you have any doubts, any questions, please interrupt me. I'll be more than happy to answer questions. Now, first of all, as we said, we would be looking at requirements. So who comes up with the idea of a project? So you would have the management team. You would have a project manager. They would sit and talk about the scope of the project. And then you as a business analyst would be involved in the requirement stage. So if you have any requirement, you would be putting it together. You would be interviewing people. You would be kind of meeting up with the technical team. You would be meeting up with the users. You would be meeting with the management. So you would gather requirements from each of them, put it together in the form of a document, which is called a business requirement document. And then after that, you will also prepare some other additional documents to support the business requirement document. Now again, as I said, today is going to be just a brief overview, so don't bother about taking notes because we would be we would be studying all of this in detail. So now when we're generally talking about business requirement documents, so we would be having a document which will contain all the business requirements. And again, when you collect information from someone, it would be, you would just be kind of taking down some notes. But when you make a document, it will be a proper document and you will be signing it off. So the sign off of the document is important because you would be responsible for anything that is written in that particular document. So you have to make sure you understand everything correctly and then put it together. And apart from that, apart from the BRD, you would also be writing some other documents like the FSD, which is the functional specification document. So here you would be talking about some functional specifications that are needed. Then you could also have some technical documents, as in documents which will have more on the technical side. So for that, you would not only be doing it yourself, but in conjunction with the development team. Now once you've done the requirements, what is the next stage? So as I said, a general lifecycle model would obviously have you write the requirements and then pass it on for design. Now who would be doing the design? The design would definitely be done by the development team. Now the design and the implementation are the responsibility of the development team and the architects who are part of the technical team of that organization. Your role as a business analyst does not typically end there. If they have any questions, it's going to be a back and forth conversation. So if they have any questions, they will come back to you. And if you have any thing that you want to share with them, like if the user says, okay, we need to add XYZ component to the existing ABC. So what would you do? You would pass on that information in a proper format to the technical team who would already have prepared an ABC, and they would just add the XYZ to it. So basically, in simple words, you would be acting as a link. So basically, the simplest way to define a business analyst is he's like a link between the end users, the people who give the requirements, and the technical team who would be working on those requirements. So just think of yourself as a link or a chain. And you have to remember that if a chain breaks, the cycle is not going to function. Similarly, if you are not doing your job efficiently, your project would not be a success. So for the success of the project, the role of a business analyst is really important. Now coming to the design and implementation, so that has been taken care of by the technical team. But then what happens? We've created something. But do you think we could just hand it over to the client like that? No, we cannot. So that is where testing. Now who does the testing? Testing is done at different levels, but most of the time the testing is done by the QA team, which is also known as